What happened when a rich kid tried flexing on the wrong person? Story 1. I'm a public defender. Not the flashy kind. The I keep granola bars in my desk because I miss lunch kind. Anyway, last month I got assigned a DUI case for a 19-year-old college kid named Bryce. His dad is some tech exec, and Bryce walked into my office wearing a watch that cost more than my car. First thing he says, "Look, I don't need you. I'm only stuck with public defense because my dad wants to teach me humility. But don't worry. Once he calls his guy, this goes away." I told him gently, "That's not how DUI works." He smirked. "It is when your family funds half the city. People like you don't get it." Court day comes. Bryce shows up in a suit, laughing on FaceTime in the hallway, calling me Budget Saul Goodman. Then he spots the judge's clerk and loudly says, "Hey, can you tell your boss I'm here? He'll want to wrap this fast. I've got a ski trip." The courtroom goes quiet in that way where the air changes. The clerk doesn't answer. The judge walks in. Bryce straightens like he owns the building. The prosecutor starts reading the report. Bryce blew a 13, rear-ended a nurse at a stoplight. Bryce keeps whispering jokes to his friend. I nudge him to stop. He rolls his eyes theatrically. Then the judge looks up and says, "Mr. Bryce Alden?" "Yeah, Your Honor," he says, grinning. "Honestly, I think there's been a misunderstanding." The judge doesn't blink. "There has. I'm not your boss, and you're not special here." Bryce's smile twitches. He starts saying something about his father. "That name," the judge continues, tapping the file, "is familiar. Because I presided over your father's sentencing hearing 10 years ago." Bryce goes pale. His dad had told him he retired early. The judge calmly explains. Dad didn't retire. Dad pled guilty to felony fraud, cut a deal, and got probation because he paid restitution. The condition: any new criminal conduct by immediate family could reopen the case. Bryce stammers, "Wait, what?" The prosecutor slides a motion forward. Given the defendant's refusal to accept responsibility and the prior related matter, I watched Bryce's world tilt sideways in real time. He looked at me like I was supposed to fix gravity. The judge ruled, license revoked, mandatory treatment, and, the kicker, he referred the file to the state attorney for review of the father's probation. Outside, Bryce tried to call his dad. Went straight to voicemail. I didn't feel triumphant, just tired. Because the flex wasn't the watch. It was thinking consequences were for other people. Story 2. I'm 16. This happened at my mom's place last Thanksgiving. She remarried 2 years ago to Greg, who's fine, whatever. Greg has a son, Tyler, 17, who acts like he was born on a yacht. Tyler's whole personality is, my dad's money. He shows up in branded hoodies, talks about private school like it's a country club, and treats my mom's house like the charity Airbnb. At dinner, he starts in on me. "So, you still doing that little community soccer thing? Cute. I'm getting recruited for prep league. Might go D1, but you probably wouldn't get it." Everyone awkward laughs. I say nothing. My mom is doing her please don't fight eyes. Then Tyler sees my phone on the table. It's a normal phone. He picks it up and goes, "Dude, this is ancient. You're still on that? Let me guess. Dad's paying child support and still can't afford a decent upgrade." That one hit wrong. My dad doesn't pay child support because he doesn't have to. 60% custody, remember? But Tyler loves saying "you're broke, Dad" like it's a slur. I look at him and go, "You know my dad, right?" Tyler smirks. "I know he's whichever guy your mom picked before she leveled up." Mom makes a sound like she swallowed a fork. Greg clears his throat. "Tyler, chill." Tyler keeps going. "I mean, some people are meant to stay local." And that's when my little sister Lucy, who's 9 and usually invisible at Thanksgiving, says loudly, "Tyler, why are you mean?" "Your mom says you're mean because you miss your real dad." Freeze. Total freeze. Tyler goes red. "What?" Lucy shrugs. She calls him your real dad when she cries. She says you're not allowed to talk about him because of the NDA. But she says he's famous. Tyler's mouth opens and closes like a fish. Greg stands up so fast his chair tips. Turns out Tyler didn't know. Greg had always told him his bio dad left and didn't want a family. Except bio dad was a pro athlete who paid for everything quietly through lawyers because he didn't want tabloids. The NDA was to keep Tyler out of the press. Tyler ran upstairs. We heard a door slam. Later, I found him in the hallway staring at a photo album Greg had shoved in a closet. It was Tyler as a toddler with his bio dad at some stadium, smiling huge. Tyler didn't say sorry to me. Not that night. But he didn't flex again. Not once. The loudest people are usually hiding the quietest grief. The story 3. Told from the POV of the wrong person. Me, the receptionist. I work at a boutique architecture firm. Small team, big clients, Our new junior hire, Chase, comes in day one like it's a runway. Patagonia vest, gold tie clip, and a habit of saying my family's lake house, the way normal people say my dentist. He also has opinions about support staff, like me. First week he's late to every meeting, but somehow always has time to stroll past my desk and go, "Hey, could you print these?" I'm slammed. Then he adds stuff like, "You're lucky. Must be nice not having real pressure." One morning he sees my lunch, leftover pasta in a plastic container, and goes, "Wow, you really bring food from home?" I blink. "Yeah, saves money." He laughs. Right. I forget some people have to think about that. I don't clap back. I just do my job and watch him slowly irritate the entire office. Then comes the client presentation for a multi-million renovation. The partners are nervous. This client is a nightmare. Chase decides to help by bringing a flashy 3D render he made on his own. He barges into the meeting room early and starts setting up. I walk in to deliver coffee. He's rehearsing out loud. "Trust me," he says to nobody. "They'll love my concept. It's not like these old guys get design anymore." The client arrives. Expensive suit, calm face, the type that scans a room like he's reading a blueprint. Chase springs up with a grin. "Mr. Renner, great to meet you. I'm Chase. I actually expanded the proposal with some fresh ideas you'll like. I know you're used to traditional approaches." Mr. Renner shakes his hand. "Renner, yes." Chase launches into his render without waiting for the partners. Big, bold changes. Lots of modern luxury. He keeps calling the existing design safe and dated. The partners look like they want to evaporate. Mr. Renner listens politely, then says, "Interesting concept. Where did you study?" Chase beams. "Harvard GSD. Family legacy." Mr. Renner nods slowly and turns to the partners. "So this is the person you assigned to my project?" Everyone stammers. Mr. Renner points at the render. "This is a carbon copy of the shop I opened in Barcelona in 2009. Same facade rhythm, same interior light well, same stair curve." He looks at Chase. "You didn't expand anything. You Googled my portfolio and traced it." Chase's face collapses. "No, I was inspired by, I won awards for that shop," Renner says, still calm. "And I sued an architect for copying it once. I don't do repeats." Silence like a vacuum. Mr. Renner stands. "Remove him from this project, or I remove your firm." Meeting ends. Chase gets escorted out by HR before lunch. On his way, he stops at my desk like he might say something heroic. Instead, he whispers, "Did you know who he was?" I sipped my coffee. "I'm the receptionist, Chase. It's literally my job." The partners gave me a bonus that Friday. Chase posted on LinkedIn about toxic workplaces. He forgot the part where he flexed on the client who built the room he was standing in. Story 4. I was the maid of honor at my cousin Lena's wedding. Lena married into money. Like, old money with a family crest on napkins money. Her groom Everett is sweet, but his cousin Cole? Cole is a trust fund mosquito in loafers. At the rehearsal dinner, Cole parks himself next to Lena and starts doing that playfully cruel thing rich guys think is charming. "So," he says, swirling wine, "Lena, you sure you're ready for this life? Country club rules, charity galas. It's not like waitressing in a college town." Lena smiles politely. "I think I'll manage." Cole smirks at me. "She's adorable. I just worry she doesn't realize how selective our family is. Grandpa's funding the whole wedding, right? God, generosity is exhausting. Everyone looks away." Everett tightens his jaw. Lena keeps her composure. Then Cole decides he needs a bigger audience. He taps his glass mid-toast and says, "I just want to say how proud I am that Everett is giving Lena a shot at the Renwick life. Not everyone gets to level up like this. I swear you could hear forks hit plates." Lena stands. She's still smiling. "Cole, that's very kind." Cole beams, thinking he nailed it. She continues, "Since we're doing family announcements, maybe now's a good time to share mine." People shift. Lena reaches into her clutch and pulls out a letter. "My Grandma Sue passed last spring. She left me something I didn't expect. Apparently she and Grandpa Renwick were close. Before he married your grandma." Cole laughs nervously. "Wait, what?" Lena unfolds the letter. "This is from Grandpa's lawyer. It confirms I'm his biological granddaughter." The whole table does that collective inhale. Everett looks at Lena like he's seeing a hidden door in a wall. Cole's mouth hangs open. "That's not possible." Lena tilts her head. "There's more. Grandpa amended his estate. I'm included. Which means I'm not marrying in, Cole. I'm already Renwick." Across the table, Everett's grandfather, legendary scary rich patriarch, stands slowly and nods once. "It's true," he says. I wanted to tell Everett privately tomorrow. Lena earned her place long before this wedding. Cole goes ghost white. His dad grabs his arm like a leash. Lena leans toward Cole, still smiling, voice soft enough for only the nearby to hear. So, when you talk about our family being selective, you're right, we are. Cole left early. At the wedding, his seat was conspicuously empty, and Grandpa Renwick walked Lena down the aisle. The flex turned into a bloodline. And Cole learned the hard way that pedigree isn't always where you think it is. Story 5. I'm the new partner in this one. I started dating Maya about a year after her divorce. She warned me her ex, Jordan, was a performer. I thought she meant dramatic. She meant he treated life like a stage and money like lighting. We live in a nice but normal neighborhood. Maya's ex lives in a condo downtown that looks like an Apple store mated with a museum. He picks up their 7-year-old Eli every other weekend. First time I met him, he did the scan. My clothes, my car, my job title. Then he smiled that sharp smile and said, "So you're freelance? That must be exciting." Maya always had a talent for projects. He said projects like mistakes. At Eli's birthday party, Jordan shows up late with a drone and a bag of designer kids' clothes. He announces, loud enough for the parents to hear, "Sorry I'm late, my assistant messed up the schedule." You know how it is. Then he looks at Eli's cake. Homemade, because Maya makes insane cakes. And goes, "Ah, buddy, next time we'll do something professional. Like a real venue." Maya doesn't react. I start getting annoyed on her behalf. Jordan pulls me aside. "No hard feelings, man. I just want Eli to have the best. If you ever want advice on upgrading your situation, I'm a resource." I say, "I'm good." He grins. "Sure, but some people don't like feeling second tier around kids." I almost snap back, but Eli runs over and hands Jordan a drawing. Jordan barely glances and says, "Cool, put it with the others." Eli's shoulders droop. Tiny thing, but I saw it. Weeks later, school does career day. Parents invited. Jordan RSVPs. Yes, tells everyone on the class chat he's bringing something special. Maya asks if I want to go too. I do, partly because I care about Eli and partly because I'm petty enough to want a front row seat. Career day arrives. Jordan strolls in wearing a suit that probably has its own zip code. He brings a glossy slideshow about entrepreneurship. Kids are bored. Then a teacher says, "Next, Mr. Luca will talk about what he does." That's me. I walk up with a beat-up backpack. Inside is a small satellite prototype. I'm an aerospace engineer. I consult for a European research program. I keep it simple. How you can make things that go to space. How teamwork matters. How failure is part of building. The kids light up. They ask a million questions. Eli looks like he's vibrating with pride. Afterward, the principal pulls me aside. "We didn't realize your work was with ESA. Would your team be open to sponsoring our STEM lab? We have a grant match opportunity." Jordan is 4 feet away when she says it. I didn't even notice him until I heard the sound he makes when air leaves a balloon. That night, Eli tells Maya, "Dad said space stuff is for nerds." Maya kneels. "How did that make you feel?" Eli shrugs, eyes wet. Like he doesn't like me. The next pickup, Eli walks to Jordan's car and says, very calm, "I don't want the fancy clothes. I want you to listen when I talk." Jordan blinks. "What?" Eli repeats it. "If you don't, I want to stay with Mom." There are moments where adults forget kids are full humans. That was one of them. Jordan looked at Maya like she'd programmed Eli to say it. She didn't. I didn't. Career day did. Jordan drove off without arguing. For the first time, his money couldn't buy the ending he wanted. Story 6. I used to work at this quiet luxury sushi place where the plates cost as much as my electric bill. Most nights were normal rich people weirdness. Then a kid named Landon started showing up. Couldn't have been older than 20. Always with a crowd, always loud. He'd snap at servers like they were Alexa. "Tell the chef I want the Otoro extra fatty, and don't bring soy unless it's the imported one." Stuff like that. Then he'd finish by waving his black card at eye level like a medal. One Thursday, he comes in with a date and 2 buddies. They get the private booth. I'm on the knives that night, so I hear more than I want. Landon's doing the usual flex routine. "Dad says I should buy this building just to stop valet from touching my car." "Bro, my watch is limited run. You can't even Google it." Date giggles like it's performance art. Near close, he calls the server over and says loudly, "Hey, can you tell your chef this Toro is mid?" Like, no offense, I just know quality. I grew up in Tokyo summers. This is basically grocery store. Server tries the polite smile. I'll let him know. We're all in the kitchen rolling our eyes. Chef Kaido, tiny, silent man in his 50s who terrifies Michelin inspectors, just wipes his hands and walks out. I peek through the pass. Chef bows slightly at the booth. I'm sorry it wasn't to your taste, he says. Landon leans back, smirking. Yeah, maybe next time don't charge like you're good. Chef nods once. Understood. Then he turns to the date. Miss, quick question. Your father is Mr. DeLuca, yes? The vineyard in Umbria? She blinks. Yes? Chef smiles, gentle as a blade. Tell him Kaido says hello. I apprenticed under him before he sold to your family. He's a fine man. Date goes pale. Wait, you know my dad? Chef points at Landon's card sitting on the table. And you are Landon Voss? Landon's smirk falters. Yeah? Chef sighs. Your father bought the restaurant group last year. He pauses. He also kept the books. Landon laughs like he thinks it's a joke. Okay? Chef's voice stays calm. He told me to watch for anyone using company cards without authorization. Because the audits are starting Monday. Silence. Like, physical silence. Even the buddies freeze. Chef bows again. Tonight's meal is comped. Your card won't be charged. Then the killing blow. Not as generosity, as evidence. Landon snatched the card like it burned him. His date stood up fast enough to knock her chair. I need to call my dad. She walked out without even looking at Landon. He sat there blinking, smaller every second, realizing the kitchen guy he tried to dunk on just turned his flex into a confession. Story 7. My brother's best friend, Arya, was raised rich in the way that comes with boarding schools and never carrying your own luggage. She was always nice to me, though, which is why what happened at her dad's memorial gala still makes my stomach twist. Yeah, gala. In a museum. With a string quartet playing covers of Coldplay. That kind of rich? Arya is 23 now, and she's been acting like she inherited the sun. At the gala, she was floating around telling people, Dad would want me to keep things moving, meaning she was already interviewing management consultants for the family foundation during his funeral night. I'm there with my brother, mostly to support Arya's mom, Tamsin, who looked like she'd been turned off and on again. Arya corners this older woman in a plain black dress who's standing by a sculpture. Hi, Arya says brightly. You're with the museum staff, or? The woman smiles softly. I'm Moira. Arya does the head tilt. Moira who? Just Moira. Arya laughs. Cute. Well, thank you for coming. Dad's circle was broad. If you need a ride, let someone know. We don't want guests wandering out alone. It's that tone. The one that says, you're lucky to breathe our expensive air. Moira just nods and turns back to the sculpture. Arya, not getting the worship response, follows up. Also, if there's anything you want to say about Dad, I can pass it to the foundation. Though to be honest, we're being selective. He had a lot of admirers. Moira looks at her for the first time. Did he tell you about the apartment above the bakery on Via Salviati? Arya blinks. What? The one he lived in when he was 19. Before the money. Moira's voice is nearly a whisper now. Before me paid his tuition. Arya's smile cracks. I'm sorry. Who are you? Moira reaches into her clutch and pulls out a folded, worn photo. It's Arya's dad, young and broke-looking, holding hands with Moira outside a tiny storefront. He asked me to come tonight, Moira says, because he knew you'd run the room like it was a board meeting. Arya actually steps back. He never mentioned you. He didn't mention a lot, Moira says gently. Like how the foundation's money isn't his. She nods toward Tamsin across the hall. It's your mother's. Always was. Your father was drowning in debt when she married him. She saved him. Then he spent the rest of his life letting you believe he was the hero. Arya stares at her mom like she's seeing a stranger. Moira tucks the photo away. I loved him once, she says. But tonight isn't about him. It's about the women who carried him. Then she walks over to Tamsin, takes her hand, and Tamsin starts crying the way you do when someone finally says the true thing out loud. Arya didn't speak for the rest of the night. The flex died in her throat because she realized the empire she was guarding wasn't even his. It was hers to apologize for. Story 8. I live in a rundown but charming apartment block. Old elevators, good neighbors, a courtyard with a lemon tree that survives out of spite. Our maintenance guy, Mr. Evo, is basically the building's dad. Fixes everything, remembers everyone's birthdays, lets my dog sit in his chair. Then a new tenant moves in. Camden, early 20s, loud car, louder ego. Day 1, he's bragging in the lobby about how he needed something modest while waiting for his penthouse renovation. He starts acting like the building is his personal cosplay of urban grit. He'd call the courtyard quaint. He'd take selfies with the broken stairwell like poverty was aesthetic. One night, the elevator stalls between floors. It happens sometimes. Mr. Evo comes with his tool bag, calm as ever. I'm leaning on the wall with 2 other tenants waiting. Camden pushes past us like he's boarding a private jet. Dude, can you hurry? I've got a meeting. Some of us have lives, Mr. Evo says. We fix safe first, Camden scoffs. Fixing safe is easy if you know what you're doing. But I guess this is what happens when buildings hire cheap. Everyone starts bristling. I say, he's literally saving you from a fall. Camden ignores me. Where I'm from, we don't let random guys touch our elevators. My family runs properties. Mr. Evo keeps working. Doesn't even look up. Camden keeps poking the bear. Bet you don't even have certification. This place is falling apart because of people like you. Mr. Evo finally straightens and takes off his gloves. Camden, he says, like he's testing the word. Your surname? Camden lifts his chin. Hale. Why? Mr. Evo nods slowly. I was at your grandfather's wedding. 1978. I fixed the lights at the church. He paid me 50 lira and a handshake. Camden frowns. Cool story. Mr. Evo reaches into his pocket and pulls out a ring of keys with a brass tag. He holds up one key. This one opens the roof access. This one opens the boiler room. This one opens the owner's office. Camden snorts. Maintenance has keys, dude. Mr. Evo looks at him kindly. No, this key opens my office. Because I own this building. Dead silence. He gestures around the lobby. When your grandfather was broke, I bought this place. I was the random guy. Then I worked for 40 years so everyone here could live somewhere decent. Camden goes white. You're the landlord? Mr. Evo shrugs. I'm the man fixing your elevator. You decide which matters. Then he turns back to the control panel and, in 10 seconds flat, frees the elevator. Camden mumbled something about being late and fled outside, phone already in his hand. Next morning, there was a notice on the board. Welcome Camden Hale. Rent increase for Unit 4B rescinded due to clerical error. Mr. Evo never said a word about it. But the building felt warmer after that. Like the lemon tree grew a little straighter. Story 9. We were playing a tiny gig at this grimy venue. You know the type. Sticky floor, neon beer signs, and someone always crying in the bathroom. Halfway through our second set, a guy stumbles in wearing a suit too clean for the room. He's with a posse of friends filming. His name's Jet. I only know because he keeps yelling it into his own camera. He posts up front, starts heckling between songs. Yo, play something real. I went to Berkeley, this is amateur hour. Then he adds, no offense, you guys are like, adorable. We ignore him. We're used to drunk dudes trying to be main characters. But Jet keeps going, talking to his live stream. This is why rich kids should run music. Talent plus resources, you feel me? These guys don't even have in-ears. He points at our singer, Nia. Hey, sweetheart, if you want a real career, DM me. My dad invests in labels. Nia doesn't even flinch. She just says, cool, man. What Jet doesn't know, Nia used to be famous. Like charting single, late-night shows, the whole thing. She disappeared after her label screwed her, and she got tired of being a product. She never tells people because she wants to play music without getting eaten alive again. Jet decides to really swing. How about you let me on stage? I'll show you what professional sounds like. Crowd starts booing, but bar security is busy. Nia looks at me, smirks, and says into the mic, sure, come on up. Jet climbs on stage like he's accepting an award. He grabs Nia's mic and launches into this overwrought R&B riff. It's not bad, but it's audition energy, not performance energy. He's doing it for the camera, not the room. Then Nia quietly plugs in her acoustic, steps next to him, and starts harmonizing. Soft at first, then huge. The room changes. People stop drinking. Phones go up. Not for Jet, for her. Her voice is the kind that makes you remember someone you miss. Jet tries to outsing her, but it's like racing a train on a scooter. When the song ends, the bar erupts. Someone yells her old stage name from the back. Then another. It spreads like fire. Jet's livestream chat is exploding. Is that her? No way. Queen. He stares at his phone, realizing he accidentally walked into a comeback. After the show, a woman in a leather jacket comes backstage. Hands Nia a card. It's me, she says. I run Horizon Records now. I watched your whole set. If you want control this time, call me. Jet tries to slide in, grinning again. Hey, I'm Jet Hale. The exec doesn't even look at him. She points at the stage door. You were a great opening act for her relaunch, though. He sputters. I wasn't an opening act. Nia smiles, exhausted but bright. Yeah, she says. You were. His flex became her spotlight, and he had to watch the room choose real over rich in real time. Story 10. I play in this weekly online charity tournament. Small community, mostly chill. The prize isn't even cash. It's bragging rights and a donation to a kid's hospital. One week a new player joins, Prince Rook. Everyone knows who he is within 2 matches because he doesn't shut up. His voice is that polished private school confidence. He's laughing after every kill. You guys are cute. I'm on a fiber line my dad installed for me. You'll never keep up. I've got a 6K rig and a coach. This is literally cardio. Then he hears my adaptive controller clicking on mic and goes, "Bro, is your setup broken? You playing on like charity gear?" I say, "Yeah, it's adaptive. Works fine." He snorts. "That's rough. If you need a GoFundMe, I can retweet. I love helping the less fortunate." Chat goes weirdly quiet. A couple people DM me, "You okay?" I'm used to dumb comments, but he's doing it for the audience. Like I'm a prop. Next round, he starts targeting me on purpose. When he downs me, he screams, "Let's go! Send him back to 1998. His friends in Discord howl. I don't rage. I'm not fast enough for that. I just focus. I've played with this body my whole life. My hands don't work great, so my brain had to get good. I bait him into overextending. Then I trap him with a slow, ugly, perfect play. He loses. Hard. On stream. His mood flips. Lag? This server's trash. He got lucky. Then the tournament host pops into voice. "Hey, Prince Rook. Quick note. Your mic's live to the public channel, so maybe cool it." Prince Rook huffs. "Whatever. I'm here for charity anyway. I'll just donate the full prize myself. I make more in allowance." Host pauses. "About that." He clears his throat. Tonight's charity partner is the Adaptive Play Foundation. They fund controllers for disabled gamers. They're matching donations in the winner's name. Prince Rook laughs. "So? Works for me." Host continues, gentle but lethal. "Also, our winner tonight is Sam." Me. Chat erupts. I'm stunned. I'd never won before. Host goes on. Sam's story is on the foundation page. He helped design the newest low-cost adapter. Tonight's match pays to ship 200 units. Prince Rook goes silent. Then an alert hits his stream, because he still had it running, showing the donation. Prince Rook donated $1,000 in honor of Sam's win. The host had already processed his full prize donation promise automatically. Prince Rook stammers, "Wait, I didn't." Chat, which had been his cheering section, turns instantly. "LOL, you just funded the thing you mocked." King of cell phones. Maybe listen next time. He disconnects without a word. I sat there shaking, not from victory, but from this weird soft weight in my chest. He tried to flex on me as a charity case. Instead, his money ended up stamped with my name, paying for kids like me to play without being laughed out of the lobby. Sometimes karma doesn't punch. Sometimes it just reroutes the flex into something better. Story 11. POV. Me, volunteer, search and rescue, weekend warrior edition. We got the call around 2 a.m. Lost hiker, possible injury, GPS ping drifting. That usually means some city kid underestimated the mountains, and now the mountain is collecting its tax. We find him around dawn on a scree slope, sitting beside a $900 ultralight pack like it betrayed him. He's maybe 21, expensive haircut, designer trail shoes that are already shredded. His name's Rafe, and he's filming himself on his phone even though he's shivering. First thing out of his mouth isn't "thank you." It's, "Man, finally. I've been out here all night. Do you know who my dad is?" My partner Marta just keeps checking his ankle. "I'm taking vitals." Rafe keeps trying to angle his face toward the phone. "I'm not some idiot," he says. "I had the best gear. I dropped like $3,000 at Summit Lab. I literally wore their ambassador kit. Their guide was mid, so I ditched him." Marta looks up. "You ditched your guide?" "He was too slow. Kept telling me to turn back. Like, bro, I've done Kilimanjaro. Well, my family did it. We had porters." He laughs like that's charming. Then he looks at my jacket, patched, faded, with an old logo, and goes, "No offense, but is SR even trained for this? You guys look local." I almost snort. Marta stays stone-faced. "We're trained enough to keep you alive." Sit still, we splint his ankle, start the long hike out. Rafe whines about his toes being cold and how, normally I'd have a heli, but service out here sucks. At one rest stop, he finally asks, "Hey, can you take a photo of me with you guys? It'll be good PR. I'll tag the org. My followers love resilience content." Marta says, "No phones during extraction." Rafe rolls his eyes and mutters, "God, you people don't understand how branding works." When we hit cell range, his phone explodes with notifications. He smirks. "See? Summit Lab already reposted my Lost in the Wild story." He opens Instagram, freezes. His smile evaporates. Summit Lab posted his GoPro footage. The one he didn't know was auto-uploading to a cloud account he signed at checkout. The clip was him laughing at the guide saying, "I'm not paying some minimum wage mountain nanny to tell me no," then cutting the tracking beacon off because it makes me look soft. Caption from Summit Lab. We are terminating our ambassador relationship with Rafe H. for violating safety protocols and disrespecting guides. Please don't hike like this. Rafe stares at the screen like it bit him. Marta, who has been quiet the whole time, just says softly, "That guide you ditched? He's my brother." Rafe went silent for the rest of the hike. Not because he was hurt. Because for the first time in his life, the mountain and the internet didn't care who his dad was. Story 12. Our community theater was casting Little Shop. Tiny budget, big dreams. The director, Ms. L, was new to town and kind of mysterious. Like, she wore plain jeans, never name-dropped, just watched auditions with laser eyes. Enter Peyton, 19. Dad's a local real estate whale and also our biggest donor. Peyton walks in with a scarf that looked like it had its own security detail. He doesn't audition so much as present himself. Between songs, he tells the room, "Just so you know, I've been taking private vocal coaching in London. I'm basically a shoe-in for Seymour. My dad already secured us a new soundboard, so win-win." People laugh nervously. Ms. L doesn't. Peyton notices me carrying flats to storage and snaps his fingers. "Hey, set boy, put those down and grab me water. Room temp, not tap." I blink. "There's a cooler in the lobby." He smirks. "Right. I forget some people aren't trained for hospitality." He goes back to bragging at the other actors about how hard it is being the only qualified lead. Then he tries a note, cracks, and immediately blames the piano being out of tune. The pianist is 70 and can smell fear. Auditions end. Ms. L thanks everyone and says she'll post results tomorrow. Peyton corners her. "Just so we're clear, my dad expects me to lead. We don't donate for ensemble." Ms. L tilts her head. "Your dad donates because he loves theater. You audition because you love theater. Those should be separate." Peyton laughs like she told a cute joke. That's not how the world works. Next day, cast list goes up. Peyton isn't Seymour. He isn't anything. He storms into the lobby while we're taping schedules. "This has to be a mistake. I'm the donor's son. You can't cut me." Ms. L steps out from the office, calm. "I didn't." Peyton jabs a finger toward the list. "Explain this." She hands him a printed letter. Official letterhead. Big city logo. "Last night," she says, "I sent your audition video to the Regional Youth Conservatory. I'm on their board." Peyton's face brightens. "Wait, really?" I asked whether they'd accept a sponsored placement. She smiles almost sadly. "They declined. Said you don't meet the bar and they don't take bribes." He sputters. You recorded me? It's standard. Also," she turns to the room, "I didn't move here randomly. I was hired to rebuild this program because donor pressure has been killing it." Peyton looks around for allies. No one meets his eyes. He storms out, phone all ready to ear. 10 minutes later, his dad walks in, pale, not angry, embarrassed. He doesn't look at Peyton. He looks at Ms. L. "Thank you," he says quietly. I didn't realize what he'd been doing here. Then he turns and says to his son, voice flat as a stage, "You're not leading a show until you learn to be led." We started rehearsal that night. Peyton never came back, but the donation check still did. Bigger than ever, and with a note. "Sorry for the noise. Thank you for the music." Story 13. This kid Sloan rolls in with a matte black supercar that still had temp tags. He hops out wearing loafers without socks and an attitude with interest. "Need a quick tune," he says. "Don't touch the paint." And I'm in a rush. I'm late for a yacht thing. I run his VIN. Brand new lease, not even 2 weeks old. I tell him we can do a standard inspection. He scoffs. "Standard? Dude, I didn't buy standard." He taps the hood. "This is a Vortex GT. My uncle got me one of the first allocations. I know the CEO. Cool. I've heard this speech in 40 flavors." We roll it into Bay 3. My tech, Hannah, comes out wiping her hands, hair tucked under a cap. Sloan looks her up and down like she's an app he doesn't want to download. "Isn't there someone senior?" he says to me. "I don't want my car touched by interns." Hannah pauses. "I'm not an intern." Sloan laughs. Right. I'm just saying it's a speciality build. You wouldn't get it." He leans against the door and starts narrating his life to his friend on speaker. "If they scratch it, I'll just have Dad sue. That's why you don't let employees think they're equal." Hannah doesn't react. She just plugs in diagnostics. Then she frowns and looks under the dash. "Who installed your boost controller?" she asks. Sloan puffs up. "Me. It's simple. I watched a tutorial." I'm basically an engineer. Hana just says, uh-huh. 5 minutes later, she calls me over. Come here. On her tablet is a neat red alert. Unauthorized ECU flash. Third-party boost map. Safety interlocks disabled. I go, Sloan, did you remap this? He shrugs. Yeah. Factory tune is conservative. I wanted real power. I explain, as gently as I can, that leased cars are monitored. The manufacturer flags tampering automatically. Also, disabling safety interlocks is not cute. Sloan smirks. Relax. I'll have my uncle call. He literally knows the CEO. Hana pulls off her cap. Her hair is gray at the temples. Her eyes tired in the way only very competent people get. I don't think he does, she says. Sloan squints. And you are? She turns her phone toward him. It's an old press photo. A younger Hana, in a lab coat, standing beside the Vortrex GT prototype. The headline reads, Chief Powertrain Architect Returns for New GT Program. Hana says, I designed the safety system you just bypassed, for the CEO, who's also my brother. Sloan's smirk dissolves into pure static. She keeps her voice even. Because you tampered with a leased vehicle, the contract allows immediate repossession. Also, you voided warranty and broke 2 emissions laws. He tries to laugh it off. Come on, it's my car. It's not, I say, because sometimes you get a moment. It's theirs. You're renting confidence. A transporter showed up an hour later. They loaded his supercar like it was a dead whale. Sloan didn't yell. He just stood there staring at the empty bay, holding keys that didn't open anything anymore. Before he left, Hana handed him a brochure for a defensive driving course. He looked like he might cry. Not because he lost a car, but because someone he tried to step on turned out to be the floor. Story 14. We made nationals by some miracle. We show up to this hotel ballroom full of blazers and kids who say summering, unironically. Our first round is against St. Aurelia Prep. Their lead speaker is Nico, who wears cufflinks to a high school event. Before we start, he strolls over and goes, Oh wow, you guys came in buses? Respect. I'd get hives. I ignore him. We're used to being underestimated. He keeps poking. What's your case on economic justice? I assume it's very emotional. Then he glances at my teammate's thrift store suit. Hey, if you want, I can hook you up with my tailor. Charity is important. Round begins. Topic, housing policy. Nico opens by flexing his real-world perspective. He talks about how zoning laws protect community character and how rent control punishes innovation. He's smooth, confident, the kind of kid judges usually adore. Then he looks at us and adds, smiling, Some of us understand property because we actually own some. His friends chuckle. A judge raises an eyebrow. It's my turn. I'm shaking a little, but not from fear, from anger. I don't attack him. I pivot to evidence, vacancy data, displacement studies, historical redlining. I keep my voice steady. I finish with a line I didn't plan. Community character shouldn't mean communities without the people who built them. Quiet claps from the back row. Cross-X starts. Nico tries to steamroll me, asking rapid-fire questions like he's doing a TED Talk. Finally, he says, Isn't it true your plan relies on government intervention because your communities can't support themselves? I look at him and go, Do you know why my community can't support itself? He smirks. Because it's poorly managed? I click the remote and put up one more slide. A screenshot of a news article. St. Aurelia's Alumni Foundation, Nico's family foundation, bought 3 apartment blocks in my city last year, renovated nothing, tripled rent, and evicted 112 families, including mine. My mom and I moved into my aunt's basement. That eviction is the reason I started debating housing. Nico's smile flickers. That's irrelevant. It's literally your impact, I say. And you didn't even recognize your own logo. The judge leans forward. Nico's partner looks panicked. I don't gloat. I just ask him quietly, on record, Do you still think this is emotional because it's not about you? Nico goes stiff. He tries to answer, but it comes out thin. We win the round 4-1. Afterward, I'm packing up when one of the judges stops me. Your evidence was strong, she says. But more than that, your restraint was stronger. Then she hands me her card. She's on the State Housing Commission. Nico walks by at that exact moment. Phone pressed to his ear, voice rattled. Mom, did we really evict people? Like, recently? He didn't lose because we were louder. He lost because he finally heard the echo of his own comfort. And it sounded like my mother crying in a hallway. Story 15. Our coastal town runs a summer regatta. It's half sport, half festival, all salt and gossip. This year, a new boat showed up. A glossy 40-footer named Meridian, flown in on a trailer like royalty. Owner's kid Tessa, about 20, steps onto the dock wearing sunglasses the size of my future. She's barking at her crew like she's in a movie. Careful with the teak, she says. It's original. To me, she goes, Hey, dock boy, is there a VIP mooring? My dad doesn't do public slips. I point to the assignment board. You're in C12, she laughs. Cute. I'll take A1. Closer to the club. That slip's reserved for safety boats, I say. She tilts her head. Do you know whose boat this is? Yeah, yours. C12. Her crew snickers. She flushes and decides to make a scene because rich kids treat embarrassment like a personal emergency. Listen, she says loudly so people turn. My family donates to this harbor. We basically keep your town afloat. I'm not parking next to some fishing dories. I'm about to respond when a man in a faded yellow raincoat walks up carrying a coil of rope. He looks like he stepped out of a 1970s photo. Weathered, quiet, that kind of old sea calm. Tessa sees him and goes, Finally, someone competent. Tell your little helper to move my boat. I'll pay you double. The man looks at the Meridian for a long second, then at her. That's a beautiful hull, he says. Where'd your father get her? An auction in Monaco, she says, smug again. We outbid 3 billionaires. Dad's got taste. The man nods slowly. Monaco, huh? He reaches into his coat and pulls out a worn folder. Not dramatic. Just inevitable. He opens it. I'm Captain Rua, he says. Harbor master. Also the creditor for that vessel. Tessa blinks. What? He taps the folder. Your father bought Meridian through a shell company. Didn't finish payment. Auction house called us yesterday because the lien is still active in this port. Her face drains. No, that's impossible. We paid. Rua's voice stays gentle. Maybe he told you he did. He turns to me. Call the Coast Guard unit. Tessa snaps, finally scared. You can't seize it. It's for the race. Rua sighs. I don't want to. But law is law, kid. Her crew goes still. A couple boat owners nearby stop watching her and start watching the pier road, because they already knew what a lean truck looks like. When the officers arrive, Tessa's phone rings. She answers on speaker without meaning to. Her dad's voice is frantic. Tessa, listen. The account got frozen. I need you to stall them. Don't let them take it. I'll fix it after the race, I swear. Everyone on the dock hears it, including the club commodore, including the local paper guy. Tessa just stands there, holding the phone like it weighs a ton. Rua, the competent man she tried to hire, steps closer and says quietly, You can come crew with us on a safety boat if you want. You don't have to sink with his mistakes. Her sunglasses come off. Her eyes are shiny, furious, and young, and suddenly not sure who she's been performing for. She whispers, He said I was learning responsibility. Rua nods. Maybe today you are. They towed the Meridian before noon. Tessa spent the regatta on the safety boat, silent, watching other people race. At the awards ceremony, she didn't clap for the winners. She clapped for the lifeguards and dockhands, the people she'd called public, because sometimes the wrong person to flex on is the one holding your boat above water. Story 16. Our clinic is in one of those mixed neighborhoods where a Tesla and a rusted bicycle can share a curb without judging each other. We get all kinds. But one Tuesday, in walks this college kid, Holden, with a puffer vest that probably had a stock portfolio. He flops into the chair, doesn't even say hi, and goes, Just FYI, I'm on my dad's plan, so let's not waste time with the basic stuff. I need Invisalign today. I've got a ski trip. I explain we need scans and a consult first. He sighs dramatically. Look, I'm not trying to be rude, but I know how healthcare works. My mom's a board member here. Reader, she is not. He keeps making little comments while I set up. Do you guys always use the cheap gloves? Man, your back office looks like a public school. Then he sees a small gold nameplate on the wall. Doctor. Nadia Shah, DDS, MS. He goes, Who's that? New doc? I hope she's not, like, fresh. Doctor. Shah walks in exactly then. She's petite, gray streak in her hair, calm eyes. Holden does a quick up-down glance and says to me, not quietly, Wait, is she the dentist? I thought this was a serious practice. Doctor. Shah smiles like she's heard this before. Hi, I'm Dr. Shah. What brings you in? Holden launches into his flex speech. How he needs a smile that matches his lifestyle. How he doesn't want some budget orthodontist. How his family knows people. Doctor. Shah listens, nodding. Then she says, Open wide. She does a 30-second look, then asks him to sit up. Holden, you don't need Invisalign today. You need a specialist. Your lower molar has a hairline fracture, and you're showing early bone loss. He blinks. No. I brush. Like a lot. I have a Sonicare. Bone loss isn't about brand loyalty, she says gently. Do you vape? He scoffs. Everyone vapes. She turns the screen toward him. These pockets don't happen because everyone vapes. They happen because of nicotine, genetics, and neglect. You're headed toward losing teeth in your 20s if you keep treating your mouth like a prop. Holden tries to laugh. Okay, but you're not like the gum person, right? I'll have my dad fly me to someone legit. Doctor, Shaw nods. Sure. Then she adds casually, tell him to ask for Nadia at the craniofacial unit. I'm the one who rebuilt his jaw after his cycling crash in 2011. Holden freezes. Wait, my dad had a crash? She tilts her head. He told you it was a minor injury? Holden's face does this slow crumble. Doctor, Shaw continues, still kind. He was lucky. He had a team. Not everyone does. Don't waste the luck you inherited by assuming you're invincible. He goes quiet. Like, actually quiet. When he left, he didn't ask for Invisalign. He asked for a referral. And right before the door closed, I heard him on the phone, voice small. Dad, why didn't you tell me you almost lost your jaw? Flexing is easy when you think consequences only happen to strangers. Turns out his dentist wasn't a stranger. She was the reason his dad could still smile at all. Story 17. My cousin Marin married Rich. Like, Vineyard Rich. Their kid Lyle is 18 and thinks humility is a tax bracket. At our reunion, he shows up late, sunglasses on indoors, and immediately starts narrating his life to anyone within splash range. He sees my aunt's old farmhouse and goes, wow, it's like a museum for poor people. Kinda cute though. Then he spots my little brother Ben, 25, quiet, works night shifts, wearing a plain hoodie and says, bro, you still doing that warehouse thing? Must suck. I mean, some of us aim higher. Ben just nods. He's never been a talker. Lyle keeps escalating. Hey Ben, how much you make? Like I'm trying to understand the vibe here. Ben shrugs. Enough. Lyle laughs and turns to his girlfriend. See? That's why you don't settle. I'm already on my third startup. Dad's backing it obviously, but it's my vision. Finally, at dinner, Lyle stands up clinking a glass. I want to say I'm grateful for family. Even the ones who didn't get the same opportunities. If anyone needs career advice, I do mentorship sometimes. I watch my aunt stiffen. Ben keeps eating. Then my grandma, who is 82 and sharp as a nail, says, Lyle, sweetheart, come here. He struts over like he's being crowned. Grandma points to Ben. Do you know what your cousin does? Lyle waves a hand. Warehouse, right? Grandma shakes her head. Ben manages logistics at the port. Night shifts. You know why? Lyle frowns. Money? No. Because after your dad's third winery expansion, the loans got messy. Ben's been quietly paying your dad's overdue freight bills so your barrels don't get seized. Silence drops into the room like a stone. Lyle stares. That's not true. Dad's fine. We're fine. Grandma reaches into her apron pocket and pulls out a folded letter. A final notice. She slides it to Lyle. Your father mailed this to me by mistake. I think he meant to send it to Ben. Again, Lyle opens it, eyes flicking fast. His face goes pale. Ben finally speaks, voice soft but steady. I didn't want anyone worrying. I've been covering it for 6 months. He said he'd catch up, Lyle whispers. Why didn't you tell me? Ben looks at him for a long second. Because you were busy teaching people how to aim higher. Lyle didn't say another word that night. He just sat next to Ben afterward, asking quiet questions, the way kids do when the world shifts under them. The twist wasn't that the rich kid got humbled. It was that the warehouse cousin had been holding their whole family afloat while Lyle was giving speeches on a sinking ship.